What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Warning. Stock markets crash as a result of the Fed meeting, and you must do this next. Please do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and go find us over at trysmallbiz.com. That's trysmallbiz.com, where you can advertise your company for free. Or for just $1 a day, you can hire me and be among only 500 premium members that I'll personally work with on a daily basis, including promoting you to more than 125,000 people on social media. And I don't know, you remember Joe at Atlantic ATM who has 20x'd his business in the last 6 months? Right down the street here in Atlanta. That's Joe at Atlantic ATM. Probably not your typical story, but it's very, very possible. So ladies and gentlemen, do me a huge favor, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine, whiskey on a big rock, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a day, right? We're up, we're down, we're up. We closed down 500 and change on the Dow. I thought Jerome Powell threaded the needle in the press conference. There's one line in particular that I hope to talk about that I think is very, very bullish for stocks. But let me just cut to the chase with some E-word housekeeping and a quick mention about our toll-free number, 866-2-SMALL-BIZ, that you can call me Monday to Friday during normal business hours. First of all, the E-word. We are no longer mentioning it here on YouTube, and as a result, our views are way, way, way down. But as I've covered in the last two videos, there are billions of dollars. Watch them and see the pinned comments in terms of who you need to reach out to. There's billions of dollars out there available. However, here's a warning for you. If you don't get off your ass right now, if you need the money and apply, once we get into 2023 and the bond market was screaming it today, we're looking at a recession, or at least a mild one, because the employment situation is very strong. We have 1.8 job openings for every person available. So in my opinion, and the opinion of others, it's going to be very hard to push unemployment north of 5% when the pandemic crushed many Americans' desire to ever get off their ass and go to work. So part of the inflation problem, in fact, most of it, and Jeffrey Gundlach did a great example explaining this on CNBC within the hour, is that companies are having to raise their wages significantly higher just to find anyone that'll take a job. Because we have tens of millions of Americans who are just perfectly content sitting at home in front of the TV playing a World of Warcraft, smoking the peace pipe. They have no desire to take risks. Get up at 4 a.m. like me looking for the next stock pick that I can hopefully text you. Once we hit 500 and we only have, I'm not going to say, about 100 left to go. We're really cranking lately. Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to text them to you. And speaking of text, do not ever call, email, text, or send money to someone in the comments. They're even starting to go as far, these scammers are anyway, that you see it on YouTube in particular. We work for Jason. No, they don't. The only way that you can speak to moi is if you call 866-2-SMALL-BIZ. And by the way, we got a ton of calls today. You got to give me at least 24 hours to respond to your voice message. I think I'm backed up 7 or 8 calls. So if you called me this afternoon, thank you very much. I'm going to get to you tomorrow as quickly as possible. It's a major game changer. We are building rapport. We are establishing relationships that are going to carry over to Las Vegas, the cruise in Miami, and most importantly, we're going to continue to make money not only in the stock market. Follow me on Twitter at TrySmallBiz. But you mark my words, just like Joe knows at Atlantic ATM, when I said yesterday, his testimonial, he has 20x'd his dues selling ATM machines in the last 6 months. 20 times? Now, that's not your typical case study, ladies and gentlemen. But my goodness, most of you could double or even triple your business. But how many of you were showing up on a regular basis and reaching out to people? Less than 20 out of almost 3,200. So I don't know what it's going to take to get you off your ass. One of the reasons why I launched 866-2-SMALL-BIZ is so you can call me. You got a question on how to set up your profile? Call me. You want to know what it takes to get promoted? And by the way, I promote a lot of people. They're not even realizing that on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Try Small Biz, username Small Biz. And of course, the community page, the home wall on YouTube, you're getting promoted usually within a month of signing up, sometimes less. Many of you are now in the second or third promotion if you signed up 6 months ago, but you got to follow me across the board if you want to know when your time is up. But if you have any questions or concerns, you guessed it, you can call me at 866-2-SMALL-BIZ. You'll never see me put an email or a phone number in the comments. I'll never ask you for money with respect to the E word. Those are all scams, so do not do it. All right, the fight in terms of the E word is on Twitter every single day. Today, I tweeted about the $10,000 grant. There is a bill in the Senate. It's the Hard Hit Relief Small Business Act, sponsored by Ben Cardin and others. It would get $6 billion out to, I hope, 600,000 people, 10 grand apiece in middle income communities. I would say, honestly, we got a 30% chance because it's a very partisan atmosphere right now, and the odds of us getting it through with 60 votes, slim. But do not underestimate, especially now with the Dow about to crater below 30,000 and totally rain on the Democrat parade. Do not underestimate their ability to put together a small package, as I said a couple weeks ago, to get the restaurants the RRF money they were promised over a year ago and get this bill passed. I think they could get through reconciliation, or who knows, maybe even 60 votes, a bill that's, let's say, $25 to $50 billion or less. And as I said today, right, we're sending $65 billion to Ukraine. God bless the folks over there who are caught in the middle of this war. But we can't take a tenth of that and take care of what they call the backbone of this country, the small business owner. My effing ass. And as I said on Twitter, it's a total disgrace. But I'm doing what I can to get that passed. So if you're curious about the E word, another reason to follow me on Twitter at Try Small Biz. The commentary, the jokes, it's highly entertaining at least 10 or 15 times a day. And again, call me anytime you need me, 866-2-SMALL-BIZ. Give me 24 hours at least to respond because we are overloaded as we speak. All right, some quick statistics before I let you go. By the way, pinned on Twitter is what you should be buying. Many of you are already all in like me. I went in all in yesterday. ARC, AVCT, closed up today. BBIG, what a pile of dung, but we all knew that. DraftKings, Peloton, and Shopify. Those 6 names right there are highly diversified. In fact, ARC owns 35 stocks, so it's kind of like a mini mutual fund in the form of an ETF. But if you can buy those at what I just posted on Twitter at those levels or better at tomorrow's open, because they're probably going to want to flush the stops and scare everybody by driving us down under 30,000 on the Dow and humiliating Beer Nuts Biden once again, as if we even needed to do that. By the way, the entire stock market gains for the last 2 years gone. And if you look at NASDAQ stocks like Shopify or DraftKings down 80% from their highs, Joseph, the great divider Biden has totally wiped out trillions of dollars of wealth. And you can blame it on Jerome Powell, who's somewhat to blame by being insanely aggressive. If we had a president that would just come out and say, settle down, folks. We had to do this because of A, B, and C, but we're coming to the end of the Fed rate hike cycle, which is true. Powell pretty much said by Christmas, you got 2 more hikes, 75, 25, 50, 50, and then it's done. That's it. We will not be raising rates in 2023. By this time next year, in fact, we'll be cutting them in the midst of a mild recession. But we don't have that, do we? No, we have a guy who's got 141 days of vacation, and I could go on and on and on why this guy is a total train wreck. You have heard me say that before, but because he is your president, anything is possible. You could even make the case that he's in there to intentionally destroy the economy and bring stuff down so the ultra elite, the ones hiding in the shadows, can buy your house for 50 cents on the dollar, or to buy DraftKings and Peloton 80, 90% off their highs. You never know what's going on in this world, do we? All we do know, as I have pointed out on Twitter in particular, is there's a tiny, I'm getting off track, thank you, God, there's a tiny number of people that control the operation that we witness inside of the matrix. And what they say is what they want to go. But millions and millions and millions of people, yeah, I'm about to get to the final nuts and bolts of what you should do and some statistics. That's all, folks. Millions of people are finally waking up. It's not even about blue pill, red pill. You just realize that something's amiss. When you have, I won't even mention the names, certain people quitting that were telling us we had to get the jab, and now others coming out and saying, well, the mask really didn't work, or the pandemic is over. No, we can't say it's over, because then we lose our ability to control people and keep them enslaved and locked into the matrix and feeling small and insignificant. I'll save the rest of that for another video. Here's some statistics. Thank you for staying with me. Any year that ends in 2 is the strongest year of all in the stock market. 1962, 1982, 1992, even 2002 after the dot-com bubble burst, 2012, 2022. Any year that ends in 2 is stronger than any digit from 0 to 9. That is a fact. It's also a fact that the fourth quarter in a midterm election year cycle, which is what we are in right now, is the strongest quarter of any in a 4-year presidential cycle. So when you consider we had the worst first half since 1970, that's a fact. We had a huge 26.5% rally in the NASDAQ. We've given back 90%. I.e., I think forming a double bottom. I don't think we're going to break the June lows. But again, you know who your president is. Anything is possible. We've come all the way down. So 2 is your best year of any in the numeral landscape. The fourth quarter, which we're about to enter, October the 1st, is the strongest quarter of any 4-year cycle within a midterm election year. And because stocks have been decimated, and we are in fact coming to the end of the rate hike cycle from the Fed by the December meeting, the worst is over. They've already gutted stocks. I have a huge position for the 9th time in AVCT. That was a $10 SPAC. You can buy it for 20 cents in small change. Peloton at PTON, you can buy it right now at $9.14. I said 9.25 this afternoon. That stock was over 50. I could go on and on and on why most stocks within NASDAQ particular have already been taken out to the woodshed. And if the Fed is, let's say, 80 to 85% done, at some point here in the next few days, maybe tomorrow, in fact, at the open, or the next couple of weeks, as we progress into the strongest quarter of any 4-year cycle, stocks are going to bottom. And you're going to wake up one day when one of the Fed governors, who's probably a Democrat, comes out and says, you know, and Jerome Powell hinted, if you saw the press conference, 2/3 of the way through, he said, we have some dissent from within on some folks. I guarantee they're Democrats. They don't want to go any more than another 100 basis points, even though his dot plot bullshit calls for 125 more by Christmas. So I guarantee Elizabeth Warren was screaming 10 minutes ago, right? She called Jerome Powell an extremist for destroying the economy, i.e., ruining the Democrat chances to hold the House and the Senate. You are going to see, mark my words, I guarantee in the next week or two, some of these Democrat governors, namely one, I believe is in Atlanta, in fact, are going to come out and say, you know, we've done a heck of a lot of hiking over 3 full points. We might want to take a pause and see what's going to happen. Words to that effect. And you're going to see the stock market and then ultimately the bond market go, whoops, we're going the wrong way. It's time to go back up. All right, that's right. It's a year ending in 2. It's a mid-year election cycle. And by the way, did you see the 30-year and the 10-year were actually down today? We have an inverted yield curve. It's screaming recession. The Fed is not going to go any further than Christmas. And until next time, you always remember, I know what the fuck I'm talking about with respect to the stock market. I love each and every single one of you. And thank you so much for watching.